Banner Team USA edition. Woo! Say it with me. USA. Come on. USA. Yeah, baby. Travis Thomas here. And of course, no Team USA Hold My Banner is complete without the walking, talking, triple-double himself, a bucket. Ante Campbell, welcome back to the program, my friend.
USA.
Woo!
USA. I got you, Travis. I got you. Yeah, bro.
Nice
that
job.
was a great game to watch the other night, bro. Like,
Yes.
USA looked good.
Yes.
Everybody was eating. It was just a fun win. And, they're keeping me honest, bro. I said 15 points a
You
game.
did.
I know the women didn't keep to that, but they were close. And the men are keeping it rolling. So hopefully everybody can keep it going because I want to be a betting man someday.
We
in my
want
future.
gold medals across the board. Have you been where are you at? We haven't talked about this. Where are you at with your Olympic viewing? Are you all in? Like, I know you're a hooper, so I already know. You can leave that out of it.
Yeah.
But are you watching swimming? Have you been watching gymnastics? Are you watching track and field? Are you all in with this stuff?
Yeah, I've been here and there. You know
Okay.
what I mean? As you know, I had
All
some
right.
time off and some time away. I was, enjoying my vacation a little bit and being away from the sports world
Right.
this weekend.
Yeah.
But I've been in. I've seen, I see Noah Lyles doing his thing.
Yeah.
I see Sha'Carri, she got silver and, doing her thing. So,
Yeah.
I've been in on the track mostly. I've been peeking into some other sports. I was watching handball the other day, too, here at the office. That was dope. So, a couple of the, the main sports, the shooting, that was hilarious.
Yeah,
the
it
memes
was.
that have been going on the internet with
Bro,
the shooting.
some of those people think they the main character the way they be
are.
shooting. They are. They are.
They are.
I've been all in. As you know, at my house right now, my mother-in-law is there, so it's constant, Ante. Like the Olympics, in my head, I just want to watch the prime time, like, see the main medalist and all the main events.
Yeah.
But it is on literally 24/7 in my house. You cannot walk into my house and the Olympics aren't on.
Yeah.
Because of that, by default, not to no doing of mine, Ante. It's just because she's watching them.
Yeah.
I walk in, I find myself watching random things like handball and shooting and canoeing.
And the DMV has been doing you proud. I tuned into a one race and Katie Ledecky was like fields ahead. I thought she was just doing a time trial by herself.
Yeah.
And the rest of the field hadn't even hit the opposite wall yet. So she was going crazy. It's been a lot of fun. I watched archery too. I didn't know I was going to be so into archery, but I was locked in on women's archery the other day.
Well, I've always said God's toughest soldiers come from Boston, Inglewood, and the DMV. So, I mean, we here on Hold My Banner, we have every base covered. I've always said that, Ante.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a quote. I'm going to get it on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
All right, we'll bring you back. For once in my life, we're not playing a game, I don't think. I don't think we're playing a game today. I think we're bringing Ante back. Can you confirm nor deny this? There's no game. I didn't see it when I looked in our production meeting pre-show.
Yeah.
I didn't see any games.
I spared you from a game today. Give you a little break. I know you need it.
Woo! All right, we'll bring Ante back. Thank you, Greg. Nice swooshing in and out with our guy here. We appreciate that. All right, let's start here. We talked about it off the top. Team USA against Brazil. This was, and Ante used this phrase, I'm so glad. This was the everybody eats game that I've really been waiting for. Like, it seems, and you guys know, you watch Hold My Banner, and we thank you for it. But in the early stages, exhibition rounds, first game, Serbia, it just seemed very much like the greats were bailing you out. LeBron and Steph, KD. No one else was really doing anything. And I was cussing and fussing about Steve Kerr's lineup choices and lack thereof. Okay, now a couple games into this, seems like everyone's getting their footing a bit. Yeah, the legends are still the legends. LeBron's still playing great, playing more than anyone. KD's KD. Steph, though, shooting slump as of late. Okay. Kerr, thank God. Oh, although he did tick me off starting Joel Embiid against Brazil, I couldn't be that mad because Joel Embiid actually showed up and balled out, right? But Steve Kerr, for the most part now, not as rigid, showing that, hey, I can make some adjustments here. I can tinker with the lineup. I'm just happy with that. Whether it works or not is not my concern. These things happen. You have bad shooting games. But just the fact that Steve Kerr's willing to do it, I'm happy with. But I always say this on Hold My Banner and other shows, that sometimes when you don't watch a game, the box score can be deceiving. So you'll see a score like Team USA beat the hell out of Brazil, 122-87, for example, right? If you didn't watch the game, well, you would say, okay, I'll just check out the box score and that'll tell me what happened. That's not always the case. Sometimes you have to watch because the box score won't give you the information you need. Not in this case. I say all that to set you up to say the box score literally tells the story. I have it right here. Bron, nearly a double-double for him. No shocker. 12 points, 9 dimes. He was doing what he always does. In fact, I was watching the game with Ante, and I said to him, I said, man, I remember watching LeBron, and we all do, when he was in high school. And my initial thoughts, literally the first time watching LeBron James, my thoughts were, that's the closest I've ever seen to Magic Johnson. The passing, the size, running the floor the way he did. It was very Showtime. Even when he was in high school, it was very Showtime, up and down. High octane, high energy. He was expressive like Magic, emotional, laughing, having fun, intense. He reminded me of Magic. And then when he got into the league, early years, he reminded me of Magic. And then he developed the scoring game. And now he's some people would say the GOAT. Not me, but some would. And he just became this all-time scorer. But this game, 12 points, 9 dimes, he looked Magic, literally. Passes, everything. The way he ran the offense, this was a very Magic Johnson-esque game for LeBron James against Brazil. Joel Embiid, who I mentioned, almost a double-double. See what's going on here? It's a pattern. 14.7 boards. They could do nothing with him. Nothing. It was good. Nice of him. Nice of you, Joel, to show up to international play. I appreciate that for Team USA. Devin Booker, 18 points. Led Team USA in scoring. So Book now getting that shot going. 6 of 9 from the floor, 5 of 7 from 3. We know how lethal he is. How about this? 6 players in double figures here. Kevin Durant, 11 points. Purely just a nice complimentary piece. Anthony Davis, 13 points, 8 boards. Another nearly double-double. Anthony Edwards, 17 points. 6 players in double figures, many of which were close to double-doubles. This was the everybody eats game. Even in Anthony Edwards, who is coming alive now, coming off the bench for Team USA. I mean, 17 points from him, and it didn't feel like it was overbearing. It didn't feel like he was taking all the shots. It didn't feel like he was ball hogging. The ball was flowing. Everyone, I believe, is starting to get their defined roles with this team. They're starting to figure it out. I would argue that this still isn't peak. This still isn't as good as it can get. I mentioned Steph Curry in a shooting slump. How about our guy, Jason Tatum, who has been inconsistent at best? And we'll transition to him because he continues to struggle. I thought against Puerto Rico, he had a double-double. He looked good. He looked comfortable. And I had just, up into that point, blamed everything on Steve Kerr. I mean, remember, we all remember, he didn't even play him against Serbia. I'm still ticked off over that. Tatum, though, to be fair, was late to camp. Didn't play well in the exhibition games. We know the story with Serbia. And then finally, his first game in there, South Sudan, and then he played really well against Puerto Rico. Well, now I assumed against Brazil, Tatum would also eat while, everyone else is eating in this game. Apparently not, because he did have a nice dunk against Brazil. I'll give him that. Nice highlight dunk, but he only scored 5 points. He shot 1 from 5 from the floor. He didn't even attempt a three-pointer. He also, I saw, got blocked at the rim while trying to dunk again on someone. So, in the end, what does all this mean? Well, Tatum continues to struggle. Ante has a theory about why. I'll bring him in after this to hear that because he may be right about it. But whether or not Tatum plays well, irregardless of that, I do believe that Team USA is going to get gold here. They're going to beat Serbia again tomorrow. And eventually play for gold. My guess, my bet, Wemby and France is who they're going to get in the gold medal game. And I think they will beat them and they will win gold. So I disagree with Charles Barkley, who I'll bring up to end the show, and what he said. Typical Chuck Barkley. He gives you a great soundbite and a great quotable. So I'll talk about that to end the show. So I disagree with him. But I do think Team USA will win the gold. My guess is they beat France. And my guess is Tatum figures it out, and the rest of this team figures it out at the same time. I'm still waiting for that. We all are. I think Steph gets out of his slump. Tatum gets his role defined a little bit better. That's really what I think is going on here. He's just not shooting the ball well, and everyone puts it together at the right time, and this team peaks. We will never, ever compare this team to the OG Dream Team. I'm cool with that. Just win gold, baby. History will be kind to you. Just win gold. We will look back on this team years from now and say, man, they were loaded. But if they don't get it done, we'll make fun of you. Like some of the other Team USAs that have blown it on the men's side. I mean, we've seen it happen, and we make fun of those teams. So I don't want this team to become one of those. And I like where they're trending in the right direction. I like where they're headed. I do think they'll put it all together at one time, at the same time, one band, one sound, so to speak, and they'll win gold in the end. All right, let's bring them back. Ante Campbell. Now, I always say this, that I defer to you for the basketball aspect, the X's and O's aspect of these games. Mm-hmm. You have an interesting theory you ran by me on why Jason Tatum is struggling.
It's as simple as this, Travis. He's tired, and he looks tired. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long journey. You have to remember, this kid has been playing deep playoff runs since he's entered the NBA. You know what I mean? The only time that he got a break is when the whole world took a break from life as a whole, and there was a virus going around the entire globe. So, this kid has been playing a lot of great basketball for a very, very long time. Yeah. Going off of a finals run, finally winning it. He was partying.
Of course.
He was partying. As he should. And then to go into that to now playing USA basketball, it's just a lot of work and a lot of basketball. This dude needs more time to rest. And a part of him is probably happy that, he got sat in that first game because he's like, I can chill. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, it's unfortunate to see that the shooting has kind of gone, but like his legs look gone. He's standing straight up and down on the defensive end, which he's not really a guy that typically does that, but he can do it and get away with it. He still looks like a great defender. I'm not saying that he's not. Sure. But man, it's just that he's tired. And I hope that he obviously continues to just be himself and get over it. And I hate to say it, but I would love for him to look at Embiid to his left and say, hey, like, I see the world was mad at you and you responded. I got to respond too. And eventually, once we're not worried about USA. Forget this. They're winning, like you said. But when that Celtics season comes and all the disrespect that he's been hearing on the internet, like how Embiid was hearing a lot of disrespect during this summer, hopefully he's ready to respond.
Well, I just want to say for the record, when Embiid looks up all the disrespect he was getting on the internet this summer, he will find me. I just want to make that clear.
It's going to be your face.
Yes. I just want to throw that out there. As far as Tatum, I hear you. Yeah. I'm concerned. Look, bro, you haven't been playing. Yeah. So why are you tired? And you're saying he's tired because of the mileage. Right. Then, bro, like, this is not going to go well this season. Like, if you literally are on Team USA and not playing much, and you're tired because of all the playoff series and all the minutes you've been playing and all that, that's not good. I almost wish you didn't go. Yeah. Have the off season and rest. Yeah. I mean, if you're not playing much, if you can't rest while you're not playing and you look tired out there, that's not a good sign. I think as Celtics fans, that's concerning, Ante. Don't you?
Well, yeah. The Olympics are going to wrap up for him this weekend. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then they don't play a preseason basketball game until October 4th.
Maybe Missoula will give him do him a solid, not even play him much.
I think he'll play one of those two games because they play the Nuggets twice in Abu Dhabi, and it's kind of like a grow the game kind of thing.
Right.
So you'll probably get a half out of him out of the 4 halves that they have to play out there in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think Missoula's a smart guy. He knows hey, all right, let's rest these guys. Training camp's probably not going to be as intense for these guys because it's a team that is older now. They are getting older. They are. And a lot of their main components are older with Al and Drew and KP obviously being over. So it's gonna be a difficult situation for him to manage, but I think they're gonna chill. They're gonna chill.
By the way, bro, I said sometimes a box score does tell the whole story, and that's why I went through it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this now, just talking to you.
Yep.
Team USA against Brazil shot damn near 60% from the floor and damn near 50 from three. It's how? That's with Steph struggling to shoot, Jason Tatum struggling. This is just ridiculous, Ante. This team's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is a ridiculous team. And the thing about it is, in the first half, they were really sloppy with the turnovers as well.
That's what I'm saying. They still haven't put together a full game where the full team balls out yet.
Yeah, they haven't. And they probably won't. And they probably won't need to because they're stacked. You earlier were saying we can't compare this to the 92 Dream Team.
Don't you do it.
And I'm over here looking at the box scores obviously. God. And we all watch the documentaries and all that other stuff.
Here we go.
I wasn't born. You were watching it. That team was great. Don't get me wrong. That team was great. But I would be willing to argue that this might be the second greatest Olympic
you
basketball
could have that argument
team
all day.
of all time.
I'm not a part of that argument.
I think Redeem Team is better because they had more energy coming into it. I think they felt more disrespected because they actually lost the Olympics before that, which was 2004, I believe, right?
Yeah.
They actually did not win a gold medal in the Olympics. This team was okay, we didn't win in FIBA, you know what I mean, the World Cup last year, so we got to, whatever, show off for our country. But with the 2008 Redeem Team, they were actually super bought in, and there's no Kobe Bryant on this team.
All right, I'm looking now.
Yep.
On that roster, I'm going to just run through it quick.
Yep.
Carlos Boozer, Jason Kidd, LeBron James, Darren Williams, Michael Redd, Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, Chris Bosh, Chris Paul, Tayshaun Prince, Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel like on paper this team's better.
Which team?
This team. Current.
This team. I mean,
team.
Yes and no. I feel like that team had more guys that were further along in their career. They had more guys in their primes, I should say.
Okay.
Right now we have this team where there's a huge separation between guys who are reaching their prime and guys who are exiting their prime. That team had a lot of guys who were in it. You know what I mean? And so that's why I think that team is just a little bit better. I give them the nod.
You give the Redeem Team a little bit
better.
Okay.
The Redeem Team gets the nod because of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That coach was Coach K, though.
And they have a better coach.
I can't stand either one.
But you know that Coach K is a better Olympic basketball coach than Steve Kerr is.
All right. You see, now you're making me give props to Coach K. That's how I know it's time to transition. What's next?
So next, I just wanted to get your perspective on this. Obviously, USA basketball has been it has a big upcoming opponent.
Yeah.
They gotta face
Serbia,
but maybe on the other side, they got to face Germany and France. Who do you think the biggest threat is to USA's gold attempts?
It's interesting because you and I talked about this before the tournament, and we really nailed it.
Yeah.
We talked about Serbia because of Jokic, of course.
Right.
We talked about France because of Wemby and others. Go Bears on that team. They got guys.
Right.
I don't want to disrespect them. We did not talk about Germany, but we had Canada, remember?
Yep.
And Canada had all these NBA players. And so naturally you're inclined to look at the teams that have the most NBA players. And quite frankly, Canada is no longer there, because that's the answer. Yeah. And I think you and I both sort of walked away feeling like Canada was that biggest threat. Mm-hmm. Now I'm like, who's the lesser of the two evils, Jokic or Wemby? Yeah. I mean, honestly, I no disrespect to Germany, I just feel like Team USA will drub them. I think this comes down to this rematch now against Serbia. Mm-hmm. And then, again, I said to start the show, my guess is they're going to see France in the gold medal game. Jokic and Wemby are both just so good.
Yep.
It feels like Wemby's team is a little more polished. I was impressed with that overtime game.
Yeah.
Who was that they beat? That wasn't Canada. I can't even remember. Japan.
Yeah.
That game was incredible. Yep. And I just think, and I know you say, well, you went to overtime with Japan. How good can they be? Like, no.
No, Japan was a good team.
Japan was no joke. And also, I actually walked away from that game feeling more impressed with France.
Yeah.
Seeing them against the ropes. Mm-hmm. Seeing how they responded to that. And, man, Wemby was the dude in that game.
Yeah, he was.
So I think I'm going to go France here. I mean, it's between Serbia and France, but I'm going to go France. I think they're the biggest threat.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to go with France as well, but for a different reason.
Okay.
And it's because I think this Germany team is actually being slept on. I think that you're right that France is going to end up winning this game on Thursday. But Germany is the team that USA has the most ammo against, which is why I would say they're not a big threat because LeBron – Germany's the reason that we have this Avengers team, honestly.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're the team that beat USA and took them out of the gold medal game and won the gold.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? In the World Cup. So obviously that team would just be a team that, especially with Schroeder, him now re-signing with the Lakers, LeBron's petty.
Of course.
So he's probably, he's going to use any ammo that he can to, go at this team. So I think Germany would honestly be last just because of that. Not because I don't think this team is good. I think that team is a team. You know what I mean? Like how we talked about the Japan team, maybe, they don't have as many NBA players as these other teams do and stuff like that. Who cares? This team is a team. This Germany team has been playing together for many of years. Schroeder has been leading them for a ton of time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The Wagners have already been in there, and when they play overseas international basketball, they bring exactly that flair. Mo brings the toughness, the grit that you want to see from him, but he also becomes a great stretch big.
Yep.
And then his brother is just a great offensive guard. Really, I know he's a wing, but just a guard at that level who can really just do it all on every side of the court. So that team is scary, but I agree. Because they're going to get bounced by France, because USA would have the best ammo against them, I think the biggest threat is the French because people don't respect Rudy Gobert. They're going to not respect Wemby because they're going to be like, oh, he's the young guy.
He's young.
But they have the other guys like Fournier, I forget the kid's name, but number 8, Cordier or something like that.
I remember his name, Pepe Lapierre. Pepe Lapierre.
But yeah, no, he was lighting up the team on the other night. He was just going crazy in the first half, shooting the ball. He had 13 points in the first half.
Shooting that
lighting up Canada.
Yep.
So obviously I just have to give respect to this France team, man.
Yeah,
I said it before before the Olympics even started, before they started, France came into this Olympics looking terrible. They lost like 5 games in a row in the showcase games. But I said it before. I'm like, you said Canada. I was like France. I think France has the biggest chance to, dethrone the USA. And they're showing us that right now for sure.
Bro, I saw that Greece came and went so fast in these Olympics.
Yeah.
And every time I looked up, Ante, Giannis's stat line was Giannis level. Like he was doing everything.
Yeah.
And yet Greece got mopped up quick and got out of there. I am telling you, and I mentioned this before on Hold My Banner, but you and I have not talked about it. I am convinced that we are headed for the Giannis revenge tour this season. I really am. I think between getting hurt and not being able to play alongside Dame Lillard, and then the reports we were hearing as the season went on that Dame wasn't the happiest. And not so much to do with Giannis or even the Bucks, more with Milwaukee, I think. So just living there, I feel like, the expectations of that team coming up short, Giannis getting hurt, not even being able to play in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And then couple that with his beloved Greece getting mollywopped, and he's doing everything, and it didn't matter.
Yep.
I'm telling you, bro, this dude's going to come in this season healthy and pissed. And I don't believe in the Bucks per se. And I don't even know if him and Dame work or not. But I tell you what, I think Giannis is about to do work all season.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I agree. He got bounced, obviously, by this Germany team that we were talking about. And I was pulling up the stats as we were talking from his Olympic run.
All his games.
25.8 points per game, which is first in the tournament.
Bro.
6.3 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and then he shot just under 68% from the field.
Bro.
68% from the field.
I mean, like, you and I have talked about Wemby. When we did the Stop Me When, did you have Giannis on that?
We haven't had Giannis on there yet.
No, when we did Wemby.
Oh, when we did Wemby?
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did, yeah. I don't think
you know
I
why I asked that is because we should do the same thing with Giannis, first of all, that game. Will. But also, I just feel like, much like Wemby, this dude is just such a unicorn. Like, there's literally no one in the world that can stop him from doing what he wants to do. No one.
Yeah, no.
Now the team around you, obviously, this isn't an individual sport.
Right.
But, the team around you dictates a lot. And I do not believe in the Bucks. I want to be clear here. But I just think from an individual standpoint, I think Giannis is going to have an MVP season. I really do. I think his numbers are going to be mind-boggling. And obviously he has to stay healthy, but he doesn't have a history of injuries. I don't really believe what happened to him is going to reoccur.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be healthy, and he is going to go at everybody, and I'm going to be here for it. I don't think they're going to beat the 7-game series. I don't give a damn how good Giannis is. I don't believe his team can get it done against Boston. Maybe even some other teams out east I would probably put over them. But that dude, Ante, a guy like him with his skill set, coming in with a chip on his shoulder, coming in ticked off, watch out, man. Watch out.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a scary sight. And NBA Twitter has a lot of disrespect always flowing around. There's a lot.
Were they making fun of Greece?
No, they weren't making fun of Greece. But I'm saying they were making fun of Damian Lillard all year.
Yeah.
Making fun of Chris Middleton all year.
Right.
They love doing that, right?
Yeah.
And these dudes are going to be just like how I was talking about with Tatum.
Right.
And how Embiid is. They're going to come in. They're going to hear all of that disrespect.
Yep.
And be Tatum. They are going to respond, whatever. So is Dame. So is Chris Middleton. So is Giannis. You know what I mean? Everyone's calling his championship a fluke because injuries, blah, blah, blah. They do this every year. They say it for the Celtics. They say the Lakers bubble is a fluke. They say that, is every championship a fluke, man? What championship is real?
Unless you have a dynasty, no one respects it, right?
Right, exactly. So he hears that. He's petty, just like LeBron is petty. He's going to go, and he's probably got people's tweets saved about how the Bucks are terrible and they're not going to do anything, how people are making fun of his brother. The way people make fun of the Nasses on Twitter is, I think it's hilarious.
He ain't helped Greece out at all. That's for damn sure.
Well, he was hurt.
Exactly.
He got hurt cheering.
Exactly.
He got hurt cheering. So
how you get hurt? You ain't playing no damn minutes. It's unbelievable.
He got hurt clapping his hands.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, the Nasties is getting cooked by us and NBA Twitter. So, it's obvious that this team has ammo. So I think you're right. Revenge tour for sure. I don't think he's good enough to beat the Celtics. Would I be shocked, though?
I would be shocked. I don't think his team. I know you believe in Chris Middleton. I got news for you. I don't.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
You said I believe in Dame. I believe in Giannis. I believe in Chris Middleton. I don't.
I just said he's going to be ready to play. I'm not saying I believe in him. I believe in Damian Lillard.
I do too.
I think last year was a fluke for him. You know what I mean?
I do too.
Him not being focused on basketball, not being healthy, really being afraid to get hurt, so he wasn't working out as hard in the summer because he was gonna get traded, and nobody knew when or where he was gonna get traded.
Yeah.
So he wanted to make sure that he could get traded by staying healthy.
Right.
He's gonna be locked in. He knows what the mission is. They have a head coach that they know and trust and believe in. I don't know if I believe in Doc.
I definitely
but they're
don't.
bought into him at this moment in time.
Right.
So that's all you really need. Like a coach that's bought that people are bought into is all you really need as an NBA team. And so when you have Giannis and Dame locked in and bought in, it's a team that could definitely be scary.
By the way, before we move on, I want to make it clear. So I already said for the Twitter hate and all that when these guys research. For Joel Embiid, he will see me there. I also want to add for Thanasis Antetokounmpo, when you as well, Thanasis, search for who was clowning you so you could keep receipts and use it as fuel for your fire to sit on the bench and cheer for your brother and everyone else, you will also see me, Thanasis, making fun of you. Just want to clear that up. Also, let's clear this up. For all things Boston sports and all things Boston pop culture as well, because we got it going on. Check out Boston has entered the chat. Tune in on Nesson's YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure you follow us on all your social media accounts for all of our best content. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about that I didn't get a chance to, Gordon Hayward retiring. Now, as I look at his career. I'm going to tell you, Ante, he feels like one of those big what ifs to me. Like, what if Gordon Hayward on that NBA season opening night all those years ago with the Boston Celtics does not get injured? What's his career look like? That's what he is to me now. Not to say he didn't. Hey, he bounced back from that. In a way, Tay, his legacy to me feels that. It feels like coming back from just a heinous injury and still having a decent career. He was never the same. But he still had a long, certainly lucrative career because he got some bags. But he just was never the same player. So when I think of him years from now, when someone asks you, hey, what was Gordon Hayward like watching him play? I would say, well, if he never got hurt, he could have been X, Y, and Z. But his injury was really bad. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about where I was. That's one of those injuries where you were. I was covering the Wizards at the time. I'll never forget, we were about to do a show, like a pregame or something. And Gordon Hayward's injury happened, and we were just all sick across the board. Sick from the grotesqueness of the injury, and then sick for him and Celtics Nation of like, man, that sucks. Like, they just paid this guy all this money, he comes in with all this hype, and then that happens. So that's part of the legacy is the injury itself, but then also overcoming it. And I will remember he did, Ante, have a long career post that horrendous injury. But that is the legacy. That's what I'll remember. I'm not going to think like, man, what a great player. One of the best players I ever watched. That could have been, Tay. He had the tools to be that, but we'll just never know.
Yeah, you're right. We'll never know. And it's like crazy to think about because you were talking about his legacy. And, when a guy retires, everyone on the internet is posting like the moments that they remember or highlights and all the other stuff like that. And before I even saw any of that, the first memory that I come to mind about Gordon Hayward is just like how great of a guy he is. Just because I remember when Kobe had his final game, it was against the Utah Jazz. Gordon Hayward was on the Utah Jazz at the time. Both teams out of the playoffs at the time. And so a meaningless game. You had that game and you had the Warriors trying to break the 72-10 record happening at the same time. But we know what the world was watching. Kobe. Of course. And so I'm watching that game. Kobe gets fouled, obviously, to get to the 60 points. And he makes 59, right? And then he's on number 60. He's doing his, free throw routine and everything like that. And Gordon Hayward steps into the lane, which is a violation, obviously, as Kobe is shooting. And Kobe makes a free throw. And a lot of people went on the internet to say, like, oh, like Gordon Hayward, he's obviously a known friend of Kobe Bryant at the time, and saying that he stepped over the line just in case Kobe missed. He gave him the opportunity to make it again. And so, of course, in pure Gordon Hayward fashion, we'll never know if he did it on purpose or not, but he says, like, no, it wasn't on purpose, blah, blah, blah. Kobe's the GOAT. I would never disrespect him like that. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was going in anyways, and I was just trying to get in there early. So that's the memory that I have of him. But, man, are you right? As a Jazz, he was so special. Like, I did end up watching those highlights. Him dunking on dudes,
man,
bro. Like, getting blocks. He was so athletic. Like, I think we always forgot about that part of his game because he was such a good scorer on the perimeter as well. Right. He shot the ball extremely well. I think he shot in the high 30s over his entire career.
Yeah.
It looks like, 37% over his entire career. So we know him to be a great shooter. But he was just a great defender. He was athletic. It would have been special to see him with the Celtics team.
Yes.
If they would have all been locked in and like ready to be a team together. Like, man, there's a lot of what ifs on that. But like, you just think about that team. Him, Kyrie, a young Jason Tatum, a young Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This team was special, and I'm surprised like that their egos kind of got in the way of like doing something really big, and obviously Hayward just kind of getting hurt and never being the same, as you said. It's disappointing, but like his legacy is just like, man, what if? That's it.
I ain't gonna hold you. If I was him, I'd ring chase. I wouldn't be going out.
I mean, he kind of did. He got traded to OKC. He was the number 1 seed in the West.
It's too young to win a championship.
They just didn't want to use him. They could have.
Well, he didn't play. Well, that's the other part. But like they weren't ready for a championship yet, and obviously they didn't want to keep. I mean, they didn't play him, so they didn't want to keep him. If I'm him, I'm looking. I might come back to Boston.
Right.
Like, can I come off your bench? Like, what's good?
Yeah.
But hey. Maybe he wanted to go out the way he did in terms of everyone around the league, even though he wasn't getting minutes.
Yeah.
Everyone around the league respected him and knows he can hoop. All right, the next thing, I before you leave, I got to ask you this because I'm confused.
Yep.
So the Netherlands won a gold medal in 3-on-3 basketball, yes?
Yep.
Ice Cube went on Twitter or something and challenged the Netherlands 3-on-3 team against like who? Like the All-Stars from the Big Three? So I don't know anything about the Big Three.
I got the tweet for you right here. So it says, we officially challenged Netherlands 3-on-3 men's to a game versus the Big Three All-Stars in Boston on August 18th. Yep. All travel expenses will be paid for. Winner takes home $150 grand.
All right. This clears everything up for me. So it's here, first of all.
Yep.
That's a Sunday. So if this happens, Ante.
Yep.
I mean, brother, we need to be reporting live from this.
Yeah.
Do you, first of all, before we even get into this, do you watch Big Three? I really don't.
I've been to a Big Three event last year here in Boston at TD Garden. It was one of my first events ever in TD Garden. And I've seen them play, and I've watched a couple of games because I do have some former, AAU teammates and stuff like that that are actually in the Big Three. So I've watched a couple of games, and it's, it's what you expect, to me.
Old guys playing 3-on-3.
Yeah, the younger guys that they have that are like, fringe NBA guys or fringe like G League guys and stuff like that definitely help out and like keep it younger and stuff like that, or like just early retired guys or guys that could still be playing like Jeff Teague and stuff like that. Yeah. Definitely help out the product. But yeah, man, it's it's a bunch of old guys playing basketball.
I got it here. All right, Big Three, August 18th. So are you going to go to this? Or should we go together regardless if the Netherlands gold medalists show up or not?
We should.
You want to do this?
We should.
All right. You guys heard it first. I'm holding on to this. All right. So let's talk about this then.
Yep.
I don't know the Big Three All-Stars.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, let's just take a look at some of the guys at the top of the league.
I know Beasley's balling because he's a DMV dude.
Yep.
And he's a bucket.
Yep.
So I imagine Mike Beasley's going to be on
Isn't
that
Briscoe?
Team.
He's a New York dude, huh? Isaiah Briscoe? I feel like he's like a DMV dude.
Let me see.
I have to check.
I'll look it up now.
But yeah,
you give me the best.
I'm gonna
players.
tell you some of their their best players in the league right now. It's really like Isaiah Briscoe, Kevin Murphy, who I'm not sure you're familiar with, Michael Beasley, which obviously you talked about. Corey Brewer is actually fourth in scoring. Yeah,
damn,
and he's leading in steals.
What a throwback!
It's just crazy because that's Corey Brewer's basketball game.
By the way, Briscoe's from Jersey, so George will be happy.
Jersey. I knew he was from this part of the country
Northeast,
somewhere.
Right?
Yeah. Jersey
listen,
kid.
I'll be honest, bro. No disrespect to the Netherlands, I'm sure. I mean, you guys won a gold medal.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm happy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Beasley's going to get buckets in your face. Like, I'm sorry. Corey Brewer, I know he's 106 years old.
Yeah.
He's going to get buckets in your face. I'm taking the big three.
Do you think they have the conditioning? That's what I ponder. Like, do they have the conditioning?
I mean, that's a fair question.
Yeah.
And I guess if the Netherlands were to get them, it would probably be late. You start getting tired.
Right.
All of a sudden, this gold medal in-tune team takes over.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, that's one way you could get them. Plus, you obviously have the cohesion. I mean, you're clearly on the same page. You just won a damn gold medal.
Yeah.
So you have that advantage over the big three all-stars. But, I mean, I don't know, bro. If you're going off dog and you're going off names and you're going off guys that have been there, done that, and have the T-shirts, all of them been in the league, all of them, I think I got to go big three, even at their advanced age.
Yeah. I don't know anything about who actually is going to be an all-star. I would assume that you know, their leading scorer, Isaiah Briscoe, is going to be one. Obviously, like you said, Michael Beasley should be one as well.
And then we'll
Corey
see who's
Brewer, and then like who else?
Yeah.
Whatever, right?
Right.
But I agree. I think I'm going to go with the old dogs on this one because it's going to be on their home court as well. And so with that, they're going to be doing, cheeky fouls and all of that stuff going in. So I'm right there with you. I think this team, this big three team, would have the advantage just because it is their home court and they're going to be playing hard and they're going to be sweating and stinking and making the gym smell like old man sweat. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm going to take big three on this one as well.
Old man sweat's crazy.
That's
you wilding out right now. I want to see with the Netherlands, too, will they accept the challenge? Yeah. Because, here's the thing, and you know this. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to any country. But if the U.S. won the gold, if Jimmer Fredette and them won gold in 3-on-3, and this were the Netherlands saying, hey, you, we challenge you. Yeah. Bring your gold medal arse to our country and play our best three in our 3-on-3 tournament that we do or our league. Right. Team USA is over there with the quickness.
Yeah, they would be.
I want to see if the Netherlands is about that action, boss. Are you guys so, high and mighty with your gold medals, looking down on the rest of us like, we're above that? Or do you accept Ice Cube's challenge? Will you come over here and face off against these old-ass men? That's what I want to see. Will they accept it, Tay?
I think they might. I think that they might. 150,000 is a lot.
It is. Yeah, that's right. No matter what country you're in. Right. Hey, Tay, $150 would change my life right now.
Exactly.
Ante Campbell, ladies and gentlemen. We love him. We appreciate him. The man, the myth, the legend. Till next time, my friend. Thank you for all your contributions to this fine program. I want to close the show with disagreeing with Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was on a podcast and asked about if Team USA loses. Oh, he's on the Paul George's podcast. And so Barkley said, quote, listen, if they lose, we can't let them back in the country. We can't. I'll tell them myself, you can't come back. So, look, Ante and I were saying, they're no original dream team, but they could be close to the redeem team if they win gold. And we could be right about that. But I disagree with Charles here. Although I'll be disappointed, although I'll be cussing in front of my kids more than I'm proud to admit if they are to lose either to Serbia or whoever they would get in a gold medal game, I do ultimately believe we should be proud of this team. All these guys are great players, and they're all great people. There's no one on the team where you question, man, is this guy even going to get – is he going to be allowed back into the country because of some of the decisions or some of the trouble he's got in? So my hat does go off to Team USA, even though I give them a hard time. With that being said, I still believe they will win gold. All right, for all of our best content of the day, make sure you follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. For Travis Thomas and Ante Campbell, thank you for watching Hold My Banner. Until next time, when we hold it again, peace.